Hello, everybody. So excited to be here today. Just had a couple of Clubhouse rooms that I've done today, and actually, I've got one more that I'm about to do, and they've been amazing. I am learning so much about Clubhouse. So I'm gonna get right into it. I was gonna have a guest on today to share, how they've been navigating Clubhouse, and just to kind of have a guest on. I thought it would be nice to bring another person in, just to share with you all, just some of the things from another perspective. So they will come back another time. They weren't able to make it. They're going to actually be doing another Clubhouse room with me later on at 6:30. So today I thought I'd talk about just the ins and outs and how I've been experiencing and enjoying Clubhouse, but not only enjoying it, because a lot of times you're going to hear people say, hey, I just, I'm getting caught up in it, not getting any work, not being productive. And I can see how that happens. I've talked about that before, but let's talk today about a couple of things. Navigating Clubhouse, using the clubs, because now everybody has a club. That's what they say. Everybody has a club now, which is a host room or auditorium. So today I really want to get into talking about how to use other people's clubs, because I have a club as well. I use my club, and I'm at around 300 people in my club, which is good. It's very good, but I'm being strategic. I want to talk too about my strategic moves that I'm trying to do for my club, what I have in store. I'm really trying to map that out. So I want to first talk about navigating Clubhouse and using the clubs that are out there. So let's get into it. There are tons of clubs on Clubhouse. At first, when I got in December, I'm going to say it was probably just a handful of clubs. And those clubs usually had for instance, there was a young lady, she and I came in Clubhouse at the same time, and she was like, you need to get your own club. You need to just apply, get your own club. And I wasn't sure really what I wanted to do with Clubhouse. So I was like, I'm not really sure what I want to do. So I decided to hold off on it. And sometimes I say to myself, was that a good idea? And then other times I'm like, I'm not sure if it was a good idea. I probably should have gone ahead and, had my own Clubhouse club from the beginning. But I'll say it wasn't a bad idea, because, hey, now is the perfect time. So my club is called All Things Allied Health, and I'm going to talk about why I named it that. And my handle at Clubhouse is Healthy Tea Living. If you ever want to hop on there and join that club, I'm on Clubhouse. My club is actually All Things Allied Health, and my link or the way to follow me on Clubhouse is Healthy Tea Living. So my club was based off of the fact that I was in Clubhouse for a while, and I realized that there were so many medical clubs, actual clubs that had to do with mainly doctors, pharmacists, nurses, nurse practitioners. There weren't any clubs that were strictly for everything else allied health. Thanks so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying Clubhouse. I've got one more Clubhouse room I'm doing today. But the reason I started my club, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, because my point in having that club is to have it make me money, to have it be a resource for other medical professionals who are not doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, any of the like. They are everything else. I just read an article on LinkedIn. One of my friends in the radiology field, she's doing some really big things. I love what Christy is doing. She posted something from the ASRT, and I thought it was a really, really good post, because it really helps you to see, I'm trying to think. It was entitled Radiology, like the hidden or the unknown. I think it was called The Unknown Medical Profession. And a lot of people don't even know what a radiologic technologist is, or they think that they're just a button pusher. And it was a really good article, because it really helped others to see that there are so many other things. So when I created this club, people have joined, and a lot of dental hygienists, a lot of radiology, a lot of respiratory, occupational therapy, physical therapy, auditory. I mean, speech language pathologists. The first people to join my club were speech language pathologists, and I can't wait to do a grand opening once I figure out what it is I want to do with my club, because I see I have such a big potential to really affect a lot of those that are outside of the doctor, nurse practitioner realm, and to really bring a platform for them to be able to speak, host rooms about whatever it is they're passionate about the travel opportunities, the educational opportunities to those that are maybe looking in those fields, because everybody doesn't want to be a doctor. So I thought it was good to open a club like that. And so I'm going into really making that club something that is, worth it for those of us in other fields, and a platform for us to have conversations and to host events and to monetize, our endeavors and our businesses, because so many people in the medical field have other businesses. So that's one thing that I want to do for that club. So that's why I talk about navigating Clubhouse and using clubs correctly. There is a place for everything, and anything that you use can be used too much. But I find that Clubhouse, if you, again, as I always say, go in with the right intention. My intention always is to figure out how this fits into my business. And if it doesn't fit into my business, I really don't need to be a part of it or on it, using my time on it. So I personally turn off the notifications, as I said before, when I'm not planning on going on Clubhouse. There's a scheduled time for me to go on Clubhouse, because I noticed that if I leave my notifications on and something pings and I find it of interest, I'm going to go in there and be nosy. So I just make sure I turn it off and really kind of just use Clubhouse in those clubs. So today we hosted a room. Every Thursday at 2:00, we host a room under another club. It is the club that the young lady I was telling you about. We both came in Clubhouse together, and she was starting her club, and she told me to start mine then, and I didn't. So Tara started the club, and I choose to host this room every Thursday underneath her club. She has one of the largest, second largest. There's another female organization that has a club that's all women, and it is huge. I think it's almost at 100,000 followers. So Tara's club is not that many, but she allows me to have host rooms in there. We kind of started out together. So she allows me to host rooms, and she allows me to open my room up to the outside. So most of the clubs have closed rooms. So unless you're a part of that club, you can't come in to those clubs and watch the events. So they keep it exclusive. Her club is a private club. You have to be invited into her club by someone that's already a member, like myself. So whenever I host a room under her club, I always make sure I let people know this is not my club, it's someone else's club. Whose club it is, give it accolades. You want to try to help people boost their club when you're hosting things up under their club. So you want to try to, bring attention to their club. So that way you bring people to their club, because they're trying to build their audience as well. They have an agenda for their club, and them allowing you to host rooms in their club, they're expecting you to, bring attention to their club as well as use their members to boost your club. So I always make sure I tell people, to follow my club that I have, all things allied health, as you see over the bottom. I encourage people to go there and follow. And I host different rooms on different subjects two times a week. And I offer people the chance to host their own rooms as well that follow along with the mission of my room. So you just can't come in there and host a comedy hour or a karaoke. That's not what my club is about. So there are certain rules that you have, and each person has to follow me when they join my club. So that way, that helps my follow and the algorithm for me. And that way I know who's having rooms. You don't particularly have to tag me when you schedule a room. My room hasn't gotten that big where I need to know all of the things that's going on. And I want to leave people that freedom where they don't think they have to message me every time they're going to start a club. I assume we're all adults. You can host a responsible room, nothing crazy, nothing against the mission rules of the club that would get me shut down. So I try to keep it reasonable that way. So, and I know who are the people that are invited into my club. And there are some people that I don't approve. If they, number one, don't have anything in their bio. So you have a bio, which tells everybody who you are, it could be true or false, we don't know. But it also has to have, you have to link to Instagram or Twitter, or you have some kind of way for people to contact you. If you're on Clubhouse and don't have a way for people to contact you, I really don't see a point of you being on there. You have to have some kind of link for people to contact you, or you have to type in your email address or how they can connect with you. Because most people, if they can't click it, they're really going to pass you by. If they really want to contact you, they will type in your email address. So that is pretty much how that goes. But so that's what I want to talk about today, using clubs to also build your club if you have one. Now, if you don't have a club, say you're somebody that does not want a club, that is just fine. There are tons of people that do not want a club. And you don't have to have a club to do what you want to do for your business in Clubhouse. You can use other people's clubs, just like I'm in Tara's club. And I was on a Clubhouse last night, a young lady. We started Clubhouse together. We got in there together, and we had been in different rooms together. And she has a club, and she wanted a panel of health folks on that panel. So she DM'd me on Instagram and asked would I be a part of it on Wednesdays. It's under her club. Sure, yeah. Turns out she has a fitness magazine for the last 8 years. And she offered for me to have a space to put content in there. Of course, that helps her fitness magazine out, but it's an established magazine with reputable people in it. And now it's giving me a platform to share my business, what I do in the health, sector of things, in health coaching and gardening and, cooking healthy meals. Now I have a place to put my things for a whole nother audience. That's huge. And that's why I get back to Clubhouse. Now, this has just been since December 31st. She and I have seen each other on Clubhouse, been in the same rooms. I've supported her rooms whenever she hosts up because I like her style. I like the way she runs her rooms. So I always seem to go in her rooms. And she reached out to me last week and said, hey, Wednesday, are you available to do a room? The room was really talking to single moms. I'm like, I'm not a single mom. She's like, but fitness. And I like the way you moderate rooms. I like your vibe. So I would love for you to be in there. I'm like, okay, cool. And now that morphed into, she wants me to do a segment on her Clubhouse that's, every now and then to talk about the gardening. So now I can bring in my gardening and do courses and conversations about that. That's huge. So this is why I say, don't think that Clubhouse is a time waster. Anything can be a time waster if you don't know why you're getting into it, and if you don't understand what tools that particular avenue has for you. So Clubhouse has different tools for you. It also has places where you can go in and mess around and waste your time. Hey, Barry, thanks so much. I will have you on the big screen doing some homework with my son. Hey, hello, son. Look, I can't help you with any math, but maybe some science. But I'm just talking about some of the things that have opened up to me since starting my club in Clubhouse. And I've got my club down at the bottom. So if anybody's on Clubhouse that's watching, please join my club. You don't have to be in the health genre. We have different conversations about different things. It's just not about health in the club, but it's all things allied health, which is anything opposite of doctor, pharmacist, nurse practitioner. There are like thousands of other health professionals out there, wellness professionals. So we just want a place for them to be able to go. And that is my handle down there for you to be able to follow me on Clubhouse. But I was talking about some of the benefits of navigating Clubhouse clubs and how starting. I'm sorry if y'all hear that noise. I have a neighbor. He does not come outside unless I'm outside. And now he's out there weed eating. And literally, I think he's weed eating my yard because it is right under my window. So I apologize if y'all hear that, because I could barely hear myself. Excuse me. So I'm about to actually get ready and go do another Clubhouse room. We have a grant that is available to any school. It is, so I'm putting in applications now. The applications are due March 31st. So I'm looking for anybody that kid goes to school. The principal has to just give me the information to put in. We can apply for the grant. There's no guarantee they'll get it, but they are reaching out to us like, hey, we've got money, $3,000 per school. As long as they have K through 5th grade, they qualify. So reach out to me, send me a message if you know any schools by March 31st that would love to incorporate gardening into the classroom. There is free money out there, you guys. So they can get one of our gardening systems and a curriculum and everything goes with it. So I'm doing a Clubhouse room on that today talking to educators about bringing gardening into the classroom. And this is why I think it's important to use Clubhouse. Now, as I was telling them earlier, I was able to get into a fitness magazine by a young lady who she and I had been on Clubhouse together the same amount of time, and she opened up her own club, and she saw one of the rooms that I run on Thursdays, and she wanted me to be on a panel of health professionals. And she reached out and said, hey, I would like you to be, a featured person on a regular basis in my fitness magazine that I've had for 8 years. So I checked it out, and it's actually got, people that have a good amount of followers. They have good social media content, really good quality people that are adding value to her magazine. It's established magazine. So I'm excited that that's going to open up avenues for me. And that's what, to me, a Clubhouse is all about: networking, accessing people that I would never have been able to access before. Most of these people live, I do a Clubhouse room with 5 ladies, and one of them is in London. I probably would have never met Georgia. She's a ballerina. Like, we are entrepreneurs, but in a whole different realm of business. And I think that's important, why Clubhouse is important, because you get to meet different people who you probably would have never met, but you guys meet, you come together because you have one thing in mind, and that is either building your brand, building your social media, gaining clients, getting followed, whatever it is, making connections. You all have that in common. So using clubs in Clubhouse is very important, whether you have your own club or not. If you have your own, you can still use other people's clubs to build your club. If you don't want a club, that's perfectly fine as well. Use other people's clubs. They will gladly have you come in and host rooms underneath their club to bring in people, because you're providing the content and you're doing the work. So they don't have to do anything but have the club. So that is truly important with Clubhouse. Using clubs, and don't think you have to have your own club. You do not. That's not a necessity. It's a lot of work if you do it right. And that's, for me, I have my club. I'm gaining people, and I'm organizing things because I want to use it in a way that is beneficial for my allied health business, and beneficial for the people that are part of that club, and making it an actual business, as people are doing in Clubhouse. So I hope this was helpful. I appreciate everyone being on this live every Thursday. I'm going to come to you with at least one Clubhouse tip that I'm learning each week that I have been a part of Clubhouse. It's exclusive right now to Apple and iPad, iPhone users. So if you have an Apple device, you can join. You just need an invitation from someone. So there are plenty of people out there that are willing to give invitations. And if you're on, I met a young lady. We're both coaches, and we actually both do radiology. So I met her. She lives in California. We met through a cancer organization. And she was on Clubhouse, and she was asking, how am I networking through all of this? And I told her Clubhouse, and she's like, I got on it, but I really couldn't figure out how to navigate with it and connect with people. And it was just like a time waster for me. So we did like a little crash course on how to use it. And she was so thankful. She was like, I never thought about using it that way. So I think people come into it thinking, oh, this is just like any other social media avenue, or I just get on here and I sell. No, you get on there and see how to add value, see where you fit in, what you want from it, and then go from there. And then just kind of, you pivot as you need to, just like you would anything else. So hopefully this was helpful. I'm going to run and hop on that other room that I'm doing in a few, and I will be back next Thursday. Thank you, guys.